like to welcome you back to our final viewing of the car, of the Jewel, before we go to the paint shop. And this has been all the difficult stuff. When we get back from the paint shop, all we need to do then is assemble and hope to God everything fits. That's been my major problem with the car, is the fit. This has not been like a normal car. As it was, the front end was heavily modified. As you can see in through here, that's been all welded together. And this was not the original hood. This was a hood that came with a parts car that we had. And so when I put the hood on, the first disaster, which set us back a day, was the left spring mount was missing. So we had no way to put the hood spring on to hold the hood in place. And I thought, well, if I could just get the hood to fit for the car show, we'd be okay, and I could fix that when we got back. No way. It's got to have the springs to make the thing fit. So I had to take it all back apart over there. It's underneath the fender, crawl up underneath there and weld in a whole new mount for that spring. And praise the Lord, when I got that all done, everything kind of fit, until I went to shut the hood, and the hood kind of came down at a funny angle. And then it dawned on me that the hood was too wide for the opening as we looked across it. Evidently, when they had built this front end, they had narrowed this hood up to make this fit, because that's what I had to do. I had to narrow it up about 3/4 of an inch to get it to fit down inside here and actually get a good line across the front to make it straight. When you see this on TV with the big shots, right? You know, they do this stuff. They modify the heck out of this stuff. They don't tell you that part. When they put it all together and it doesn't fit, then they start modifying things to make it work. You know, they'll add pieces here and they'll take off pieces here. Well, I discovered that's their secret, because I modified all this line in the hood to move this all over to make it fit. So enough of that. But anyway, everything works fine now. Everything looks. I've got to do a little primer work here before I can send this to the body shop. And I've got a little primer there, and I've got a couple spots here. So I've got a few small spots to fix. I have done a final sand over the whole car. Found a spot where somebody banged into it and chipped it, and I had to fix that. That's what happens when you let a car sit in the shop for a year and you don't get rolling on it. And so we are very, very close to getting that done. And if you want, I'd like to show you what it looks like underneath. Now that we get all that put together, it's coming real nice. We've got the motor all hooked up, got the wiring coming underneath the dash, still lacking the exhaust in the radiator, but we've got all the fuel lines and the transmission cooler, and the drive shaft's laying over on the floor over there, and it's done. So we are 65% done. And you notice, you know, we painted the fender wells now since the last time you saw it. They came out real pretty. They shine up real nice. We put our aluminum firewall in. That looks good. So this is where we're at, resurrecting the Jewel as we bring it back to life. And you watch this. How's that for a fit? And you know, there is a God. There has to be a God, because I was all jizzed up to take this to the body shop last Friday, and it was ready to go when I discovered the hood problem. And that set us back. That was a disaster. That was a 2-day deal to get that fixed. It was then that I discovered that I had forgotten to put this Studebaker chrome on here. So if I would have went to the body shop and got this painted, I would have had a terrible mess putting that on there over that brand new paint. So God was smiling on me when he said, Napoli, slow down a little bit. Let's get this done right before you take it to the paint shop. So that's what we're doing right now. We're putting on this chrome, and we're not putting it on completely. What we're doing is we're laying it out. We're making everything fit. We'll mark this with a ballpoint pen, and then we'll drill the holes for the chrome to fit for the clips, and then we'll take it off. And the reason we're going to do that is because the paint guy, when he gets ready to paint, the whole car will be painted gold base. When he gets ready to paint, we'll mask this off, and this will be gold like it was when the Jewel was built. And we've got to have those screw holes, or those clip holes, to follow where to put the mask for the gold. So this is really important to get this done right. And that's what we're working on right now. So then, once we get this gold on, once he gets it painted with the gold, then of course he can paint the red over the top of that and then clear the whole works. I found this very cool Sparkomatic 3-gauge panel set, which is what I really wanted. This was made back in the 70s, and I don't know where I got it, but it's still, everything still works and it fits in there real nice. And then of course we've got our regular gauges like this that go in here, which we've got to restore yet. And so I've got all the rest of the stuff for it, windshield wipers, the light switch, all the rest of the stuff, glove box, I've got that coming. So we'll have the stuff to finish the dash through the next time you see it. I have talked to you about the huge variations in prices of these parts. And I really want to talk to you about this because this is a brand new bumper for a 52. It fits 49 to 52 Chevy. And this is a brand new bumper that I got from Chevy of the 40s. Now in my search, and Peggy Sue, our parts girl, who just a little saint the way she looks for parts, has been searching for this bumper, and she's the one that found this bumper. But I'm calling around, and somebody mentioned to me, there's a chrome shop down in Nebraska by Scottsbluff. You should call them because they can re-chrome this bumper for you. So I called him, and the guy wasn't real friendly, but he talked to me. And he said, well, he said, you're just going to have to wait. We're 6 months behind. And I said, really? I said, wow, how do you get anything done? And he says, I got more work than I know what to do with. And I said, well, I'd like to get a bumper for a 52 Chevy re-chromed. He said, well, what's the deal? And I said, well, it's about 6.5 feet across, and it's about 5 inches wide. Weighs about 40 pounds, 50 pounds maybe. And he says, $1,250. Now remember that number, $1,250. So Peggy, God bless her soul, finds this brand spanking new bumper for $380 and $100 to ship it. That's $480. That's $700 different between a brand new chrome bumper and a re-chrome that may come out re-chromed good, or it may not. You don't know that. You don't know that's going to happen there. But that's what point I'm trying to make. This is so frustrating and so unbelievable that I'm going to say it one more time. I know you're sick of hearing me say it. Check your prices before you make a decision. Well, I'd like to thank you all again for paying attention to this video. I would like to say that I realize that I'm not exactly California Customs. I'm kind of an old school guy that's got an old school shop that does old school stuff, and I was hoping I could show you a few little tips and little stuff that you could use in your everyday life. And you're watching the resurrection of a car that was destined for death, and we're bringing it back to life. This is the last time you'll see it like this. We are not taking it apart ever again. The next time you'll see it, it will be painted, and we will be installing all of our new parts, our new bumpers and our headlights, and building our custom taillight setup. That's all going to be in the next video you get to see, and hopefully that's in a week, maybe a week and a half. It probably should be in the paint shop no longer than 2 or 3 days. Depending on how bad the weather is, we'll get it back here. And once it's back in this office, once it's back in this shop, my office, I guess, once it's back in this shop, it will leave here as a completed car. We are scheduled to be in the Counts Custom Car Show that's scheduled for February. We are going to be a featured attraction with this car, and it's going to be fun. I used to do a lot of car show stuff when I was a young man. Peggy and I did the car show circuit for about 15 years and kind of gave it up and never ever wanted to do it again, and this has kind of got me excited. I'm looking forward to being there, and so I want you to know that old car people work hard. I did 4 15-hour days on this car, and I'm going to have to do some more to get this baby done. I'm enjoying every single minute of it. I hope you're enjoying the video, and hope you're getting something out of it you can use. See ya next time.